What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Rat's Den. I know it's been quite some time since I made a video, but I wanted to drop a line and kind of show you what's been going on. But with that said, yeah, so catching up, I've gone through the game several times. I've beat it with 3 characters so far. One of the characters I did beat it with was the one you're seeing on screen now, which is my melee build. It's a hybrid build that you don't always really see, and to tell you the truth, it's not even nowhere complete, but it's actually just a pretty cool change of pace in regards to playing the game. With that said, let's take a look at the gear. So here it is. Not the highest roll. Actually, it's on the lower end of any roll. But the Oath is pretty cool, and I actually made it in a regular phase blade because I really do like the Heart of the Wolverine charges, and that's what kind of makes the Fist of Hammer, or excuse me, the Fist of Heavens kind of, you know, it's weird. Some enemies can weigh on Fist of Heavens and they'll just diminish quickly, and sometimes other enemies don't. So when you have Heart of Wolverine active on top of, you know, a couple of other things, this weapon here ends up being quite a pretty devastating weapon. It's cool. You got the chance for the level 20 Bone Spirit, and that should be pretty high for damage. You've got an automatic 50 increased attack speed. This next line here, the 216 enhanced damage. So I've seen it online, and again, mine is a low roll. I think the maximum is 350% damage, so I would love to have another roll of Oath, you know, on the higher end. But for now, you know, since I didn't have a lot of runes, Pool and Mal were actually pretty hard to come around on console, since trading is not so prominent as easy it is on PC. You know, these are self-found items, and you know, it just rolled this way, so I'm kind of just rolling with it as well. So that was Oath. Let's take a look at the shield. Right now, right off the bat, you can tell here that I'm not really going to be using this Paladin for long because I have an ethereal Herald of Zakarum. Yes, my first Herald of Zakarum drop ended up being ethereal, and I was so pissed. But one thing that I actually like about this is that whenever I do get a Zod, someone throws me a Zod, however I get the Zod, I'm planning to up this Herald of Zakarum and then Zod it, and I think that would cover this item because the defense would be enhanced. And it's just an overall, it's just a great shield that you just don't want to throw it away. You just can't have if it's the only thing that you have, and it is the only thing that I have, you know, the Herald of Zakarum shield works perfect. You got the 2 to combat skills, which basically enhances your offenses, your offensive skills, and 2 to paladin skills. So you got basically a total of 4 to 1 skill on the combat section, right? So something like Zeal, Fist of Heavens, whatever, Blessed Hammer, Smite. This is one of the best shields in the game that you can get for a paladin. That's why I will definitely not throw away the shield. Such a great shield. Moving forward, I've got this. I found this charm. It's actually a pretty good charm. 3 to combat skills. Again, this is going to be a massive boost to my attack. Moving along here. The boots. I've got the Gore Rider boots. It's a pretty standard item for, you know, crushing blow, deadly strikes, and open wounds. All around, a pretty cool boot for a melee build, which Oath actually enhances it to be a melee build. You want to have as much crushing blow as possible. To complement the crushing blow there, it's, you know, this is well known, it's G-Face. Got 35% to crushing blow, 15 to deadly strike. One thing that's actually pretty cool on this one is I managed to find a 19% enhanced damage. I know it's not the highest, but, you know, something that you find, something that's helpful. I'm using the Guardian Angel, and, you know, it's a really underrated armor. It's something, again, I'm going to probably up this armor down the line. Really great armor. 1 to all skills. You got the block rate, you got the chance to block, You got that nice big boost to attack to demons, and you've got defense, and then you have this plus 15 to all of your resistances. Moving on, let's see here. One of the best things that you can have for a melee character is a Ravenfrost ring. Again, not the highest roll, but you got that cannot be frozen. You've got attack rating. You've got cold damage, dexterity and mana. So again, cannot be frozen is key. Dexterity helps with block, and you got a little bit of extra abilities as well. For the other ring, I was lucky enough to find this on my sorceress. 1 to all skills. It's a BK ring, so you got that nice life stolen per hit, and you actually get some okay stuff with it too. So big ring, hard to find, probably one of the end game rings, I would say. Don't rush to get it. Most importantly, what you want is probably a Ravenfrost for a melee build. For the belt, I'm using Gloom's Trap. I was using a different belt. I was using the Credendum first, and it's actually a pretty cool set. I got all of them except for the Laying of Hands. I'm waiting for that because I know that will boost up this one, but I'm using this for the vitality boost, right? You got 15 to vitality, and you get some mana stolen per hit, so it's actually pretty good in the sense that when you're zealing, you're actually draining the mana from characters, so you don't really run out of mana too much. For the gloves, I'm just using 20% IAS. I've got some magic find, some resist, not too crazy, but good enough to kind of get me by for now. I'm waiting to get Laying of Hands again, so important. The attack percentage to demons, it will definitely boost this character down the line, but it is what it is, and you get what you get. So for the amulet, I've already talked about the amulet. Let's see, I don't really have anything major on switch. Just a spirit with a little bit of enhanced damage, and I have a life tap wand when I need it. I don't really use life tap. Maybe on bosses I might use life tap, but I really don't use it a lot. This build I actually use a lot of potions and stuff whenever possible, so it's just really an in case, or potentially down the line maybe Ubers might, it might help with Ubers. Okay, so that's my gear. Nothing overwhelming, some pretty good items like the BK ring, the gores, the G face, but there was a pretty bad roll on Oath, the Ethereal Herald of Zakrum. This is kind of a typical armor to use, but still a pretty good one if you don't have anything else. So let's talk about the skills. Alright, so this, like I said, is kind of like a mixed build. I was originally going to go for Fist of Heavens, but I also didn't want to get too stuck in Fist of Heavens, so I thought, how can I have a better experience with it? That's when, these other skills, this tend to skills can come into play. So something like Zeal, which is probably my main skill that I use, aside from Fist of Heavens, but I could go ahead and spec into Smite as well. But a little nifty tip here is that conversion is actually a pretty handy tool as well, and I was actually inspired by the assassin to actually use conversion, and it is a supplemental skill to Fist of Heaven. So once you boost all of your skills up, a base of 1, and then you have a 10 plus skills, that's actually not too bad. So let's put that back on here. So yeah, so occasionally I'll just try to hit an enemy and they'll be converted and they'll be on my side for a little while, for 16 seconds, as you see on screen. But yeah, you've got these one-hit wonders like Smite and Zeal, and those are actually pretty handy. Offensive auras, the first thing, of course, I'm going to do is Conviction, right? Conviction is probably one of the best auras for a Fist of Heaven's Paladin, or a Fodin. But yeah, this is the one that I use. And Fist of Heavens receives a bonus to lightning damage from Holy Shock. So I went ahead and maxed Holy Shock, Conviction, and Fist of Heavens. The last thing that I did put was a few specs into fanaticism here. So as you can see, you know, my tree for both combat and offensive auras, they're fully kind of at least ticked at least once. So you can see there's a lot of wasted skills here, which again, it's kind of hard to justify Fist of Heaven's build, you know, because it gets a little bit boring if you're just spamming it. But this right here, this actually opens it up and you're able to kind of have a little bit more fun, open up your gameplay and not just be so mundane. Last but not least, I did put 1 point into salvation. This again, look, if you check it out, it's plus 85%. Again, if I respec, I've got, you know, 7 wasted points here into Holy Boat. I might do a little bit of a mix and match, you know, maybe add a couple of more points here, maybe a couple of more points here to salvation, and then maybe a couple of more points on zeal just for more damage. You know, because I'm actually attacking with Oath and I want to receive the damage from Oath that way. Yep, but all in all, those are the skills. And again, I wanted to show you the potential of this build. It's actually pretty hard if you don't set it up the right way, but I'll show you, give you a small example of how it works in Virgin Highlands Act 5. So I'll start here with Fist of Heavens, see if I can pull one. If they swarm me, I'll probably die, but see, it's not a bad damage, right? It doesn't kill them in one shot though, but it kills them. But since I know these guys are fast, alright, so that's Zeal with Fanaticism, right? They're starting to swarm me here, right? That's kind of dangerous. But I do have a life on hit a little bit. And in that scenario too, I can go back and I can try my best to convert. See? And now I have 2 people to attack Eldritch. So really not that bad. Actually kind of fun, you know, you just have to be really, you know, aware of your surroundings and who you're going to play against, who you're going to fight, right? And the last thing that I wanted to show you is if you use this salvation, you know, it boosts your defense to a lot of the elements, right? So you're generally going to be safe. So something like the Banshees in Worldstone, they shoot those little fire things. You could turn on salvation and it's a, you know, pretty good defensive standpoint. Aside from that, there's one thing that does boost your damage, and if we take a look now, I'm only doing 418 damage. And again, let me just show you that I'm in Hell, right? Virgin Highlands in Hell. And I'm only doing 418, 334 through 418, right? But when I activate Heart of the Wolverine, my damage does go up a little bit. See, 455 to 556. That's almost 100 damage on Zeal, right? So already, that's just base damage. As you can see, I'm using my Conviction Aura, right? But if I switch over to Fanaticism, that boosts my damage even more, 600 to 723. Okay, so this right here is actually going to provide a little bit of more to my melee attack. You can see here, they go down a little bit faster, right? A little bit faster. You know, I can kind of do the same thing and cast if I want to, right? Go back to Fanaticism. If I'm feeling a little threatened, I can kind of try to convert. Right, yeah. I try to convert, get the attacks in, make sure I'm not dying here, right? Now I have those guys to worry about, but it's not too bad. So I could just wait for them to despawn. And there you go, see, and it kind of changes the pace of what you play. Okay, and now we're back, and as you can see, I do have my Mercenary with me. He's not wearing too much crazy stuff, you know, he's wearing the Guardian Angel just like me, but it's ethereal and it'll last forever on him. He's wearing this black horns. I love black horns because I love the slows target, but you know, nothing really special. It does have lightning absorb. And of course he's got obedience, so he's going to do a little bit of good damage. He's got crushing blow. He's got that enchant, 30% to enchant, so it's, you know, pretty cool item. He's not the strongest. I wish I had a little bit something to make him more survivable, but you know, mercenaries are like that. But the beauty of this Mercenary is that, you know, I'm not using a defensive aura on him. I'm actually using a might aura on him. So right now my damage with Zeal is 603, but when he activates his might aura, that provides a little bit even more damage, right? So let's see if we can get him activated here. Again, I'll switch to defensive. You know, kind of get the first hit on them. There you go. So he's activated the aura, and now we should be shredding a lot of the enemies. Yep, we're shredding now. See? Super shredding, he's helping out, and I'm doing a lot of damage as well too, right? So very, very cool build. Something that's not too standard that you see all the time. It is an Oath Runeword here, actually in action. And if we switch to the damage, now I'm doing potentially 787 to 932, and that's a pretty cool bit of damage for, again, it's not necessarily a zealot or a smiter. I'm actually using Fist of Heavens on this build. So let's see here. So these guys are immune to lightning in general, so we want to switch to physical attack, right? Something that gets them better. Enemies that aren't immune, I tend to use fanaticism because they're lower. Since they're not immune to it, that means that their resistance to lightning can be even lower, which tends to mean that they can be kind of one-shot with Fist of Heavens. Let's see here. Like these guys here, see? These guys are one shot. 2 shots? That looks like 2 shots. In this kind of circumstance here, if there are missile, I might switch to Salvation for defense, because I know that the fire damage is pretty high, and I'm still surviving, right? Still got that little bit of damage. And, you know, just a pretty cool way to get by in the game. It's actually, you know, taking a break from teleport to actually kind of stay grounded. It's actually pretty fun. And one of the cool things about this is that, you know, we've got all these cool auras activated, right? We've got Conviction, we've got Fanaticism, you know, potentially sometimes I can use Sanctuary if I wanted to, or, you know, or I can use Salvation, right? And that's the thing, is I have actually still plenty of auras as well to go through. I got some Thorns, Blessed Aims, Concentration. I could use Holy Shock if I wanted to. I tend not to use it, I just use it for the synergy, but I tend not to because I feel like Fanaticism provides a little bit better physical damage, right? Yes, that's a big boost, 152 to damage, right? So yeah, that was my build. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.